So the Springboks have just named their 23-man squad that's going to take on Ireland in the second test in Durban. And what do you make of it? That's what I want to talk about on this video. I'm Tim, this is Egg Chasers. Welcome to Umhlanga, just arrived. Welcome to the ocean. It's just outside Durban, beautiful weather. And I've had a lovely time in KwaZulu-Natal so far. In the Zulu Kingdom part of KwaZulu-Natal for the last couple of days in Hluhluwe and Imflozi. Absolutely stunning, loved it. I'll share more of my travels there in due course. But this is a video, just a quick one to run over the South African team, which has been named then. Rassie Erasmus is not wasting any time this week. He's making sure no other head coach gets their team out ahead of him. We've had guys like Steve Borthwick for England starting to get his team out before Rassie Erasmus. I think Rassie Erasmus has gone, hold on, I'm the one that names my team early. I'll show you. Tuesday lunchtime it is. Here we go. We've got the South African team and the headline is no changes. The same 23-man squad. What do you make of that? What do you think? I mean, I don't know what I was expecting. I thought maybe a couple of players might have been rotated. Then again, it was quite an experimental team against Wales because many players were unavailable for that one. It was out of the official test window. You've got Portugal coming up. And I think the one thing that South Africa, whilst, you know, back-to-back world champions, that's not too shabby. The one thing they haven't managed to do is in between World Cups, win rugby championships, win every tour series. They have been experimental between World Cups and it's worked for them. It was a necessity ahead of 2019, and in between 2019 and 2023, we saw some evolution of South Africa's play. There's definitely still evolution going on, and I want to talk about that in terms of selection and the way they play. But I think this is another clear statement that South Africa and Rassie Erasmus is keen on, yes, winning another World Cup and going 3 in a row, which has never been done before, but winning things between World Cups as well and making statements along the way and showing a level of consistency which out of necessity maybe hasn't been there in previous years. And here we go, the same 23-man squad that's been named. I don't know about you, but I think possibly one of the most interesting things about South Africa right now is less who plays, but how they play. Because they're definitely evolving as a team with Tony Brown on the coaching ticket. And we saw a level of ambition and skill execution and risk-taking with South Africa that we have not seen in the past 5 years under Rassie Erasmus. South Africa have incredible forwards, set piece, tight game, power runners. And actually, that was kind of left to one side a little bit. Well, certainly for the first 60 minutes, South Africa showed a totally different style of play, a willingness to play from anywhere, a willingness to go from coast to coast through many pairs of hands, and they showed that they have the skill level to do it. And bearing in mind this is only game 2 under Tony Brown as part of the coaching team and this new style, really, you could argue that was game 1 because we didn't see this against Wales. I got the sense against Wales that Rassie Erasmus just went, you know what, let's just do what we know we do, and then we'll have a bit more time in camp all together and we'll get it right for Ireland. And it feels like we saw the first game on this new journey at the weekend in Pretoria. And is it going to be another step forward in terms of that game plan? I think it probably is. And what does that tell us? Now, I think it would be easy to think, oh, under Tony Brown, he's an attack guru. They're going to start chucking the ball about and that's going to be the new way they play. I don't actually think that is the case. I think that they just want to do that now so that they know they've got that in their locker when it's needed in the future. So that they've got that other string to their bow, because a South African national team is never going to stray too far away from a great tight game with the forwards. That's just never going to happen because it's what their superpower is and has been. But if they can layer on top of it subtlety, deception, stretching teams with the attack play, we've seen blitz defences come into play. England is starting to get into their groove with that one. Attacks are going to have to start working out how to find holes in defensive systems, and I think Tony Brown is probably just laying some foundations. And the sense I got from just reflecting on the game at the weekend, tell me if you disagree, is that South Africa went out and said, let's go all in on this new style, but then maybe come the next World Cup time, rather than going all in 10 out of 10 on that new style, they might just rein it back to 6 or 7 out of 10, and then but have the ability to know when they want to go, they can go. And that's what's interesting. And one of the reasons I think it's just a style of play, not the style of play, is the fact that Handré Pollard is still there. Because if they wanted to play the game that they were playing at the weekend, going coast to coast, there's an argument to say Manie Libbok might be the stronger choice there. And obviously, Handré Pollard's kicking might have been the reason you'd say, no, you need Handré Pollard there, but his kicking wasn't great. He had a bit of an off day with the boot, strangely, for Handré Pollard. So that's interesting. Other than that, I think the team really picks itself, doesn't it? The pack, great. It's good to see. I'm actually glad to see Quacker Smith getting another shot at number 8. He grew into the game, I felt. Didn't have a massive impact in the first half, grew into the game through the second half, and I like the fact that, bearing in mind this is first game of the season, and this is, well, in his case, first chance to really make the number 8 jersey his own. He's being given another shot straight away. I think that's great. Faf de Klerk and Handré Pollard, Faf de Klerk defensively is brilliant. That, as an attacking duo, I think that needs a bit of development. Maybe that's the new system and a bit of understanding. So I like the fact that they've gone with the same half-backs. Centres were great. Back 3, brilliant. Villy Leroux and his range of kicking and passing is perfect. I hope, for what it's worth, that the golden boy, Sasha Feinberg and Gomazulu, gets a little bit more time at the weekend. I love the fact that, did you see, I think it was Matt Williams, that that Aussie journalist, pundit, former coach, but working in Ireland, was having another go at bringing 6 forwards on all at the same time. I kind of like the bomb squad, although I will say it should never be prescriptive, because I was watching Sia Khaleesi and thinking he's having a great game, and it's almost like it was premeditated. They're all coming off after 45 minutes regardless of who's playing well. And I thought, so for example, Sia Khaleesi was playing really well, but I had a lot more in the tank. So, but hey, a lot more in the tank, 7 days, you got a chance to do it up the road in Durban. Yeah, I like the consistency. I like the statement, no, let's win now. There's plenty of time before 2027 to bed new younger players in. Some of these guys won't be in the World Cup squad, but win a series against Ireland, try and win 2-0, win a rugby championship. New Zealand have been the big winners of the rugby championship, and I'm sure that's something that, with 2 games against New Zealand on South African soil, which I will be bringing the channel back for in Johannesburg and Cape Town, very excited about that trip already. Yeah, win a rugby championship or 2, as well as having your 2 Rugby World Cup winners medals round your neck. So there you go, that's my thoughts. Let me know yours. Was there any player you were hoping to see in the starting 15 or in the 23 that was outside of it last weekend? I guess the one thing you can say is, good news, there's no injury concerns. You can't say the same for Ireland, who are going to be without Craig Casey, who's gone home, who's going to be without Dan Sheehan, and Ireland could be without Dan Sheehan for a long time because he's got an ACL injury, which is a massive blow. And I hope he has a speedy recovery, because that is a real shame for what is an outstanding rugby player. So the challenge is harder for Ireland. South Africa are not letting their foot off the pedal at all. There's my thoughts. Give me yours. This is lovely here, I've got to say. The South African team are staying in a hotel just about half a mile or so that way. So I'm going to go down there to the press conference when they're doing that in a little bit, talking about the team announcement, see what I can suss out. And I'm just going to enjoy a bit of coastal breeze. I've been up on the high veld, I've been in the bush, I've been up in the Zulu Kingdom. Now I'm down at very much at sea level, and nice and warm as well. I can't believe it. Like, this is nicer than the Manchester summer back home. So yeah. In fact, let me just say to the northern part of KwaZulu Natal, Ngiyabonga, because thank you. I had an absolutely brilliant time, and I'll share with you my travels in Mfolozi, Klutlue, with a new hotels and resorts. I'll share that trip with you in a little bit. By the way, just on the names, I'll just mention, I won't ramble on too much longer, but on the phrase Siyabonga I used quite a lot while I was up there, which is, I was with some other people, we thank you. It's just saying thank you in Zulu. And that is also and I asked the question this morning, it's like, hold on, isn't that Sia Masuku's first name? I was like, yeah. So Sia Masuku's first name in that native language is we thank you. And Sia Khaleesi, Siam Tada, is that his name? I think that's his name, means love in translated as well. I love the names. Anyway, having a great time. Thank you very much for your support of the channel. I appreciate it. Give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe. See you on the next one.